Breaking news at 11, dangerous surf from Hurricane Sergio is crashing down barriers designed to protect homes.
CBS2's Christy Fajardo is live in Long Beach with concerned homeowners. Christy.
Yeah, Suzanne, at this hour, things are much calmer here on the peninsula. We're still hearing waves crashing. What we're not seeing, though, is them coming over this berm, which could be the reason we're only seeing one dozer here working to build up that berm. About an hour ago, the city had about a dozen people here working frantically to hold back the tide. Beachfront properties are now waterfront homes. All it took was one large wave to wash away the berm and to poke a hole in the man-made defenses behind it.
It still is not a good feeling.
Marilyn Stein watched from the balcony as waves crashed through that quarter-mile plywood wall. Firefighters had hoped would hold back the surf.
The wave would come and destroy some of the berm, and then the sand truck would come and try to replace it, but it wasn't fast enough. It couldn't keep ahead of it. So pretty scary.
Since Friday, it's been a game of whack-a-mole. Crews shore up the berm, only for it to wash away, spurred on by Hurricane Sergio, churning in the Pacific. Think it's gonna be a long night?
I think so, especially for the guys and girls that own the homes down there.
Back out here live, you can see some of the flooding. We've talked to several homeowners, some of whom have lived here for decades. They say they have never seen the waves come in this far. And during the video, during the package, you may have noticed that one big wave crashing up against that house. We checked. Luckily, no water got inside. Live in Long Beach, Christy Fajardo, CBS 2 News.
All right, Christy, thanks. So how long will the dangerous surf last? Amber's forecast coming up in just a few moments.
Protests continue tonight after Brett Kavanaugh is sworn in as Supreme Court Justice. The Senate voted to confirm Kavanaugh following a bitter partisan standoff over the nomination.
CBS 2's Jeff Nguyen is here now with the latest from the protesters and the president. Jeff.
Well, guys, you know, President Trump is taking his victory lap tonight after he was able to get his second Supreme Court nominee confirmed. And he's certainly wasting no time praising Kavanaugh while attacking the Democrats.
The U.S. Senate confirmed Judge Brett Kavanaugh.
If there is such a thing as being gracious in victory, that is something to which President Trump does not subscribe. During a rally in Kansas tonight, the president mocked the number of people protesting the confirmation of Brett Kavanaugh to the Supreme Court.
But you know what? Those people, they couldn't fit in the front row. Look what we have here tonight.
On this vote, the ayes are 50. The nays are 48.
The narrow confirmation vote went down party lines.
I believe the Senate confirmation process has become a shameful spectacle and a disservice to everyone involved.
I have no doubt that he will undermine women's rights on the Supreme Court.
Kavanaugh was seen leaving his suburban Maryland home in a motorcade soon after the vote before he was sworn in. It capped off an emotional 88 days, which included accusations the judge sexually assaulted Dr. Christine Blasey Ford when the two were in high school. A brief FBI investigation turned up no corroborating witnesses, but her lawyers say despite today's outcome, she is still glad she came forward.
Given a voice to hundreds of thousands of women across the country, across the world, who have been sexually assaulted.
During tonight's rally, the president blamed Democrats for the bitter fight over the confirmation process, and he used the occasion as a rallying cry for the midterm elections.
But each of you will have a chance in just 4 weeks to render your verdict on the Democrats' conduct at the ballot box.
And President Trump called Kavanaugh to congratulate him after watching the vote go down on Air Force One. Guys, back to you.
All right, Jeff, thanks. Stay with CBS 2 News and CBSLA.com for more. Justice Kavanaugh is expected to take his spot on the bench Tuesday when the court hears 2 cases.
And developing news now, security camera video just in of a wild attack on the corner of La Cienega and Venice. 2 gunmen approach a car, then open fire. The victims back out of the parking lot and then crash into another car on the street. Then 2 men run from the damaged car. Police say they found a large amount of cash in the victim's car, but still no suspects arrested.
Tonight, an all-out search for a killer in Malibu from the air and on the ground.
The Sheriff's Department is looking for an armed man who might be linked to the murder of a camper last June.
CBS 2's Adriana Weingold has tonight's Manhunt.
A massive search in the wilderness of Malibu Creek State Park, in the same area where Tristan Beaudette was murdered back on June 22nd. Authorities say they're looking for a suspicious man, possibly the same man wanted for an armed burglary last week.
We do want to capture this person so that we can make sure that community is safe.
Authorities say on September 30th, a man armed with a rifle broke into a water district building and stole food. They say surveillance video showed the man in tactical gear carrying a rifle. This morning, a worker in Tapia Park flagged down a sheriff's deputy after an encounter with a suspicious man carrying a backpack.
He's somebody that had a weapon and could be dangerous. We don't know, but we have to take all precautionary measures.
Authorities haven't connected the burglary suspect with Beaudette's murder or the other shootings in the park in recent months. The Sheriff's Department is asking for the public's help. If you've seen any suspicious activity in Malibu Creek State Park, you can call the Lost Hills Sheriff's Station. In Calabasas, Adriana Weingold, CBS 2 News.
A local mom convicted of a murder that many believe she didn't commit.
We got to be able to answer the question, why does she have no blood on her?
Coming up, investigative reporter Randy Page with Flawed Justice, the Kimberly Long story.
Plus, a flooded mess after a water main break at a popular store.
And oops, uh-oh, a local freeway sign with an embarrassing misspelling. Amber.
Oh no. All right, live look with our Santa Monica Pier camera. We're looking at low clouds and fog moving back in, a deeper marine influence. Now the possibility of some drizzle or some light showers. I'll tell you all about it.